Siri, she loved him in silence. Episode 2, The Look That Wasn't Meant to Be. Sometimes the smallest moments are the ones that stay. They slip into your memory like whispers, quiet, unnoticed, but impossible to forget. Emma thought the hardest part was loving him in silence. But she was wrong. The hardest part was pretending she didn't. Monday morning came like every other. Same desk, same folder, same quiet sigh. But today, the air felt different. The elevator doors opened and there he was, Daniel. Same blue shirt, same soft smile, but something in his eyes lingered longer when he looked at her. Emma tried not to react, tried not to let her chest tighten the way it always did. But that look, just a second too long, made her world shift in silence. He greeted her like always, polite, friendly, distant. Yet her heart caught something in his tone, like warmth he didn't mean to let escape. She told herself not to overthink, but her silence was listening, and it heard everything. At lunch, she stayed behind. She wasn't hungry. She was restless. While others left, Daniel passed by her desk, slowing just a bit. "You okay?" he asked. Just 2 words. Simple, harmless, but his voice was lower, softer, not casual. Emma nodded with a practiced smile. But inside, something cracked open. He never asked that before, and she knew. He noticed. For the rest of the day, she replayed it over and over. Not the words, the way he said them. Like he cared. Like he really saw her. And suddenly her silence didn't feel so invisible anymore. Back at home, Emma stared at her reflection. Not at her face, at her eyes. "Stop it," she whispered to herself. "Don't read into it." But her heart was already writing novels from a glance. She remembered when love was loud, when it came with declarations and certainty. But this was different. It wasn't loud. It was soft. And that softness terrified her, because it could disappear in a breath. She didn't want to fall, but it was too late. She was already falling, in slow motion, and he had no idea. The next day, she wore blue, the same shade as his shirt. She didn't plan it. Or maybe she did. She walked past him in the hallway. He stopped talking, just for a second. His eyes followed her, and when their eyes met, it wasn't silence. It was thunder. Emma felt it in her skin. And in that moment, the office around them faded. No phones, no footsteps, just eyes meeting eyes. She smiled, barely. He looked away, but not before something passed between them, something unspoken, something real. Later, Emma sat at her desk pretending to read. Daniel passed again, slower this time. He left a post-it note on her keyboard. Don't forget the client brief at 3. But on the back, light pencil strokes, barely visible, 2 words. Nice. Color. Her heart skipped. Not because of the compliment, but because he knew. He saw her, not just as the quiet girl at work, but as someone worth noticing. She held the note close, like it was a secret between them. Because it was. That night, she sat by her window. Rain whispered against the glass. She replayed every second, every word, every glance. It meant nothing to anyone else, but to her, it was everything. She wondered if he thought of her too, if his silence was hiding the same ache. Maybe he was afraid, like her, afraid of ruining what was safe. But Emma knew some silences aren't empty. They're just waiting for the right moment to speak. Love doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it shows up in a glance, in a pause, in a note that says more than it should. Emma loved him in silence. And now, that silence was beginning to echo, louder than she ever expected. And deep inside, she hoped he heard it too. If this story touched you, let us know in the comments below. We read every word. Like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Thank you for being here. We'll see you in the next one.